Okay, so what do you think of the DLC superstars for WWE 2K20 as part of the collector's edition and deluxe edition of this year's game? It's a bit of a mixed bag, don't you think? Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's too much of a pattern or theme with the selection of the superstars that 2K have picked for this year's game. However, it is packed with returns, and one of the biggest has to be the 9th wonder of the world, Chyna. Chyna hasn't been in a WWE game for a long time, and it's the perfect time to bring her back into the fold, although it would have been nice if she was around to see it. Always feels like these things happen too late, but it's great to see because of the fact that this year's game is so heavily focused on the women of WWE. Becky Lynch being the dual cover star, talks of the women's evolution being part of a 2K showcase. So it is a perfect time to have Chyna back in the WWE and in a WWE game. So I think with that being the case, she is the most prominent and most important of the superstars that have been selected as part of the DLC. However, we do have some other massive names, and I want to know from you, which one's your favourite? Which one's your pick? Which one do you think you will play the most with? Anyway, so with that being the case, we've talked about Chyna, but let's move on to Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was a bit of a given. I think once we saw that WWE and Hulk Hogan had come to terms with his return to the WWE, it was bound to be that he'd show up in a WWE video game. And from what I understand, the Hulkamania edition, which was the collector's edition for WWE 2K15, is still one of the most popular and best-selling editions that 2K have put out. So he does have that marketing ability, does Hulk Hogan, regardless of all the issues that he's had. So Hulkamania returns, and it looks like we're getting a 2003 version of Hulk Hogan, the Hollywood version, but with the red and the yellow. But it's not entirely clear at the moment how many versions of Hulk Hogan we will get in WWE 2K20, because we've got this version as DLC. We saw the Cloakroom teaser where it teased an NWO version of Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan I should say, and as well in the actual trailer for WWE 2K20 there was a picture on the wall which showed Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant. So are we going to get a WWF version of Hulk Hogan, a proper old school version of the Hulkster? I don't know. We will have to wait and see. But how many versions do you think we will get of Hogan in WWE 2K20? If you've spotted any more that I haven't, list them in the comment section below and just let me know which versions you think we will get for 2K20. Now moving on to Mick Foley, another superstar who missed out last year, wasn't involved in a WWE game. He makes his return, but for the DLC of the collector's edition and the deluxe edition, we get Mankind. So I guess the question arises, are we going to get Cactus Jack? Are we going to get Dude Love? Are we going to get the three faces of Foley? This version of Mankind is from the Rock and Sock connection, which maybe ties in why we've got a Rock, which is quite a different version of Rock. I mean, it's very specific, is that version of Rock that we've got, because it's not exactly a playable version of the Rock, if you know what I mean. He's not a tied up, ready to go. This is more of a casual version of the Great One, if ever the Rock was casual. But Mick Foley is returning, And I'm quite happy that Mick is back. I actually predicted Mick would come back. I didn't actually say that in a video, so I could be making it up, but it is true. If you'd been behind the scenes, you would know it, but you wasn't. So you'll just have to trust me, like Jake Roberts. But moving on, once again, and this one puzzles me, but I have to admit it does excite me also. It is the $500 shirt Rock, because as I just indicated, it's not really a playable version of the Rock. It's more or less a manager's version, in a way, although he wasn't a manager. But you see what I mean? Because he's wearing a casual attire. He's not really geared up to go in the ring. So I'm just interested whether his entrance attire is with the $500 shirt, then his ring attire is just going to be pants and very expensive shoes. I'm not sure. Also the glasses as well will have to come with that, I'm sure. But it was an interesting one, and I'm excited to actually see the game version of the shirt. So although Chyna is quite groundbreaking, Hogan is back, Foley is back as Mankind, I feel kind of like, even though it might be a bit pointless, I'm more intrigued by the $500 shirt. Amazing, huh? So I am interested to see, because like I said, it's actually been hyped up as the $500 shirt Rock, which means that this shirt will have to look epic when we see it in gameplay form. But in terms of his playability, his use, I actually see him being useful for anybody doing a retro universe mode who wants to feature the Rock from the Attitude Era. Perfect. But I hope that this version of Rock does have a ring attire as well, because otherwise I don't think you're going to get much out of him. So I do expect a full ring version of the Rock in this form at this point in time, not just a current Rock, a retro Rock, which is not the same as this Rock, and then you get this Rock without the attire. Of course you could go and fix that up in the community creations, so maybe I'm blowing it a little bit out of proportion, but it would be nice to just have it all playable from the offset as part of the DLC. So I've kind of talked through my views on each of these. I do think Chyna is the most groundbreaking. I think it's interesting that Hogan and Foley have decided to come back, or have been brought back into the fold. Hogan, obviously for very controversial reasons, and Foley, well, from what I understood, he wasn't happy about the money that was on the table to be a part of a WWE game, so that must have got squashed this year. That's what I heard. Whether or not it was true or not, simply don't know. But most intriguing, The Rock and that shirt, that $500 shirt. So what really lights you up for WWE 2K20 from the Collector's Edition DLC Superstars? Chyna, Hollywood Hogan, Mankind, or the $500 Rock? Let me know what you think, have your say, and I will put this to you. These were the 4 chosen by 2K, but if you could put together a DLC pack of 4 for a Collector's Edition, which superstars would you choose? And the reason why I ask that is I don't feel like there's any running theme with these superstars. I feel it's a bit random this year. Random is good, because you get a variety. But I'm interested to see if you guys have a running theme with the superstars that you choose, or if you go random and pick superstars from different eras and pick superstars from different time periods. So I'm very interested to hear that. Pick your 4, list them in the comments section. I might just talk about those selections too in another video, because if your selections surpass what we're getting, why not talk about them? So for now, have your say. Are you happy with the DLC superstars? Were they what you expected? Are you shocked? I was very surprised with Chyna. I know we kind of saw some leaks that had come out that hinted that Chyna was going to be featured. But it's still a surprise, and it's good that she is now back. It's a shame that she's passed and won't get to see it. I wish they'd done this sooner. But there you go. Chyna is back. Have your say. Let me know what you think. But for now, please rate, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you later.